Tell them you're doing okay.
I'm doing okay, doing all right. Today's Tuesday. I got around 12, almost 1 o'clock. Got the big surgery. Well, not the big surgery. We got one surgery tomorrow at noon. They're gonna shave my head right here and all the way back down the side.
So you have a side mohawk with no hair.
I might have like a partial mohawk. And I told him, I said, well, can you cut the other side to kind of even it out? He's like, no, the surgeon's like, I'm only known for bad hair because I don't do good haircuts. I'm like, no, no big deal. And they're going to, somewhere up in this general area, but the size of my thumb, they're going to cut a half moon shaped flap, peel it back, take a hammer drill and drill through my head. Now, I took some kind of drill a hole about the size of my index finger, he said. They're going to go take a probe with a camera on it, and they're going to kind of look around down there where they know they want to go, and everything's clear and good because they said they got a few millimeters of space between where the tumor is and the artery is that's down there, and so they said I'm young enough that there's enough space that they should just go right down there where they need to go and no problems. What they want to do, there's a floor in the fourth ventricle, and they're going to puncture a little hole, pull the tool out, shove a balloon down inside there, pump it up and into that hole, and widen that hole up so it stretches that hole out, pull the balloon back and make sure the hole stays open enough. It kind of goes back a little bit. They'll go back in there and pump it up a couple more times. And once it stays open, they're going to start, guiding the fluid to drain so it relieves all this pressure that I got built up in my head. And then they are going to, I guess after that, start, pull everything out slowly. They're going to put like some kind of, what was it, putty?
It's a gelatin.
Like a gelatin stuff.
A gelatin sponge.
Gelatin sponge into the hole that they drill. It's going to eventually fuse back and become as hard as the bone. And then they'll staple me shut with some staples. So I have a nasty scar. Which is going to be pretty cool. If I get me a motorcycle, I'll look like a tough guy. No, I'm kidding. And then sit in ICU after that should take from start to finish, from the time they put me to sleep, the time I halfway wake up, be about 2 hours of all the total time. I'll sit in ICU for about a day on Wednesday to Thursday, and then from Thursday to Friday, I'll sit in the regular room. So maybe Friday or Saturday that I might be able to go back home. So that'd be kind of nice. And I'll sit at home and pick my nose for a couple weeks, and then after that, they want me to try to go back to work and get back in swing of things so I can get my body back to normal to a point. And so I'll have to just kind of play with that a little bit. And then then 2 weeks after I'm back home and recoup somewhat, those 2 weeks I could come back to work. 2 weeks after that, I got to come back in. They got to do a second bigger surgery that's going to take a lot longer. They're going to go into the back of my head back here where your skull and the neck kind of meet together. They're going to cut in there, go through all the neck meat and muscles and stuff like that, which is probably going to suck. But anyways, it's what they got to do. And they're going to go on there and do a biopsy. They're going to take like a little suction syringe thing, and they're going to slowly remove the tumor as they can. They're not going to force it to come out because it's part of the brain on the front side of it, where towards my eyes, and that section of the brain, there's like this is the front of the tumor. There's a little bit of brain meat right here that's kind of on things on the bottom and front. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's the tumor's grown into that piece of the brain chunk, and so they can't move too much because it's this part of the brain that little section is stretched out, so it's kind of thin. So they say if they pull too much or get too crazy with it, which they're not going to do that, it could, if it falls out or they pull too much and get it loose, the brain that little section could collapse. And what could happen there is that's part of the brain area controls the muscles in your eyes and all that kind of stuff. So I could have two worst case things. I could have permanent double vision or loss of control of my eye muscles, so my eyes could be like an iguana looking around like a space alien.
Chameleon.
So They're going to be careful. They're only going to take what they can. If it doesn't want to budge, they're not going to fool with it too much. But they do want to like kind of puncture it, so they kind of drain whatever liquid might be in there, so that will shrink it down some. So the max they could probably pull out of it, it would be about 40%, which is, it's only a 1-inch squirt. I think I've had this damn thing in my head for 5, 10 plus years, so I could have been like 14 years old when the thing started growing. I don't know. And then after that surgery's all done, that's about it. From start to finish, that's about a 6 to 8 hour deal. So
You'll be asleep.
I'll be asleep. And my mom's going to sit in there and videotape it so we can put it on YouTube for everybody.
Well, the doctor's going to YouTube the one tomorrow so we can look at it.
Yeah, the doctor tomorrow, they record it for research and to practice and teach with it.
And they don't do very many of those surgeries.
And they don't do very many of the
like
surgeries.
3 or 4 a year.
Yeah, 3 or 4 a year. So we can ask if we can have copy it so we can. I don't really want to see the drilling part of my head or nothing, but they can at least show going in there and digging
see
around,
inside your brain.
See inside my brain, see how massive and smart it is. Yeah.
No, all that fluid's causing you not to have no smarts.
Well, that makes sense for the last number of years then. Mm-hmm. Oh, then after that big surgery in a month,
you'll be off for 6 weeks.
Yeah, I'll sit in ICU for about a week, monitoring, getting recuperation, then regular hospital room for about a week. And it'll send me home, and I'll be off work and off of commission or out of commission for 6 weeks.
Another 4 weeks.
Another 4 weeks, so 6 weeks altogether. And then hopefully I can get back to work and start doing stuff and doing my thing. Mm-hmm. Then I'll have to come back in like a month and like in 3-4 months to do like an MRI to just double check it, make sure things are healing right, and
find out what the tumor is.
Find out what the tumor's made out of, because they said that they want to take enough out and relieve it enough that it's small enough that it'll probably still be there. It'll probably grow a little bit, but when that time comes, it could be a year, it could be 10 years from now. They want to know what kind of tumor it is, what's made out of, and then how they can treat it if it starts to grow again, how they can shrink it. They said they can do chemotherapy or radiation, even if it's benign tumors. In the last 10 years, they've made a lot of strides with that kind of treatment. Even if it's not a cancerous tumor, they can still treat it as one, and what it does is it goes in there and shrinks it and dissolves it or whatever it does. So they want to find out what it is and what's made of, and so that way, if that time comes, they know how they can proceed later down the road. So, yeah, I think this is the start of something, but hopefully, the next 6 months I'll be good and won't have to fart around with this thing too much. So,
we'll do it on a separate video.
Yeah, so far I'm doing good. We got the big surgery tomorrow around noon, Wednesday, and then lay in bed for a few days and hopefully go home and get my feet back and recliner and relax. Let my wife take care of me and wash me. My
Doc
butt.
said you only need to be babysat for about 2 to 3 days when you go home.
No, that's it. I got to babysat 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll decide how much care you need.
You better care for me. No, but I'm doing pretty good.